Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name is Landon and here we play Jank. And today I have a fan submitted deck for you. This was submitted by Richard in the Discord. Thank you, Richard. You are awesome. Don't ever change. But if you want to submit your own deck, go ahead, join the Discord, link in the description, and we'll point you in the right direction there, right? The Discord is great for anyone that wants to join. It's just a nice little Jank community that we're building, and we're having a lot of fun along the way. And so Richard submitted this deck. This is a deck for Journey Together, so I wanted to jump on this as soon as I could. I'm going to go back to older fan submitted decks when I don't have newer ones stacking up, right? I think that's the best way to go about it. Let me know if you think differently. But this Jank deck submitted by Richard revolves around the Lycanroc, the amazingly awesome Lycanroc with the Spike Clad ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 spiky energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. It just so happens that this attack costs 3 energy, so that takes care of 2, then you just attach from your hand for a 3rd, and you're off to the races, right? In addition, Clamping Fangs does 40, plus this attack does 40 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon, and that works wonderfully. You might be asking, hey, what does Spike Energy do, though? Spiky Energy do? Let's jump into that now rather than later, right? Spiky Energy. I keep wanting to call it Spike Energy, and it's spiky, not spike, spiky. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and it's damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. It's Rocky Helmet, but as an energy, which is pretty cool. I really like that, actually. So you get to move 2 spiky energies onto Lycanroc, and if they attack Lycanroc, that means they're going to take 40 damage at least. If you get a 3rd spiky energy on, they're going to take 60. If you put on a Vengeful Punch or a Rocky Helmet, they're going to take more, right? So just more and more damage is what they want, what you want on them, so that Clamping Fangs does more and more damage, right? Which is just awesome. I really like this Lycanroc. If it could see like actual play in the meta, that would be fantastic. Honestly, would love to see that. Let's see, what else do we need to go over here? We got Fez, as you would expect. We've got Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX, as I think you would expect if we're playing the Fighting Energy anyways. We've got Squawkabilly EX, which I think post-rotation you're going to see that a lot more. Even if you were seeing it a lot before, you're going to see it even more post-rotation. We do have some interesting choices, such as Bloodmoon Ursaluna. With the Battle Hardened ability, it can accelerate basic fighting energy onto it. So I think the idea is this is a backup attacker. It also does more damage based off the number of damage counters on the opponent Pokemon, but it does 100 base. I really like this Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I've made a deck with it recently. I recommend checking out that video. But adding it to a Lycanroc deck, I think, just makes the Lycanroc deck better. We've also got Ting-Lu here. Ting-Lu, let's see, this is the interesting one. So for a single energy, 30 damage if a stadium is in play. This attack also does 30 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and discard that stadium. So that's fantastic. Bench hitting is so powerful right now. I don't think people will truly grasp that until we have a Manaphy replacement. Then people will be like, wow, bench hitting could have gone nuts for a while there. We'll see, though. Maybe people are catching on, because bench hitting is gonna be so important. And Ting-Lu being able to put that much damage out so that Lycanroc and Bloodmoon Ursaluna are able to capitalize on those damage counters you're putting out early. Ting-Lu's just a beast. And then we got Maractus here. I like Maractus. So it's got the Exploding Needles ability, which if it's knocked out, the opponent's Pokemon takes 6 damage counters. Then for a single energy, 20 damage, and they can't retreat. So your opponent's unable to retreat, they're gonna have to hit into Maractus. Maybe they'll KO it. If they do, they'll take 6. And if you have a Spiky Energy, that's 8. And if you have a Vengeful Punch, that's 120. But let's see what kind of trainers this deck is running. Alright, starting off strong with Boss's Orders. Of course, you gotta play Boss. Boss is a staple. 1 copy of Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That seems low to me. 1 copy of Rescue Board. 2 copies of Iono. 1 copy of Super Rod Richard. I struggle with a deck when it has this many 1-ofs. I just gotta tell you that, okay? I struggle with these, so don't be surprised if I struggle with it. We got 1 copy of Technical Machine Devolution, 2 copies of Artazon. Okay, a little bit more, you know, consistency there. 1 copy of Counter Gain. Okay. 2 copies of Nest Ball. Good. 2 copies of Earthen Vessel. Good. 1 copy of Pokegear 3.0. Good luck to me, I guess. Of course, 1 copy of Brilliant Blender, that's all you can play, and is the ace spec of choice. I believe this is to get the spiky energies into the discard as soon as possible so that Lycanroc can accelerate them. I'm not the biggest fan of this choice, but I understand. Like, I get why. With only having 2 copies of Arven, 1 copy of Pokegear, I think it might be hard to get Brilliant Blender into your hand. I could be wrong, but I don't know, I just have this sneaky suspicion. We've got 1 copy of Carmine, 2 copies of Switch, 1 copy of Bravery Charm, which is going to let our basics do a little bit more. 1 copy of Hassel. Why? I don't know. You look at the top 8 cards of your deck, you put 3 of them into your hand, you shuffle the others back into your deck, and you can only use this after one of your Pokemon were knocked down during your opponent's last turn. Okay. 1 copy of it, not going to be too consistent. Feels like I'm going to struggle with this deck. Richard, you really built something to challenge me, so thanks a lot. 1 copy of Penny, so we can pick up our basics, which will work for like Bloodmoon Ursaluna, but it won't work for Lycanroc. 2 copies of Night Stretcher. 1 copy of Jamming Tower. Okay. We got 1 copy of Ultra Ball. 1 copy of Chorus's Tenacity. 1 copy of Lively Stadium. 1 copy of Morty's Conviction. And a PAL pad, so I can use some of these supporters again. Whew. This is a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean very low numbers of a lot of cards. So we'll see how well I do with it. Let's go ahead and jump into a match and just see what happens, right? So yeah, just to remind you, if you want to submit your own deck to either challenge me or show off your deck building skills, please go ahead and check out the Discord, go to deck submissions, and submit your own deck. I'll get around to it eventually. I hope. Alright. Tails. Alright. Do we get to go first? Yes, we do. Do we want to go first? I think. We got Carmine in the deck. We've got a stage 1. I would say we want to go first. Oh, jeez. That's like the worst that it could have been. Like, why? Why? Alright, so if I Nest Ball, right? If I Nest Ball for Rockruff, I can play that down, and I can attach a Fighting Energy to it. Then next turn, I play Arven, grab Brilliant Blender, discard Spiky Energies, and then I accelerate Spiky Energies, right? That is definitely a way. Is it the way? If I go Nest Ball, Squawkabilly, I could Squawkabilly for a lot, actually. We're gonna Squawkabilly, I think. I think we're going to do that. So first, Fighting Energy, I'm going to play down on the Cornerstone. Then we're going to Carmine. We're going to save the Squawk for after. Let's see. We get Night Stretcher, which can get us our Lycanroc back. But that's it. That's rough. PAL pad. Let's go ahead and grab Iono and Arven again. We're gonna Ultra Ball. 1, 2. Done. Grab Ting-Lu, I think. Since they got Chimp out, might as well get my own Gate Legendary out, and we will go ahead and Squawk and Seize. Are these called the Gate Legendaries? I don't know. Has anyone come up with a clever name for them? I don't know. And we've got Earthen Vessel. I'm going to play that just because I want to get Spiky Energy into the discard kind of as soon as I can. And then end turn. There we go. That was a lot done, and I feel like I didn't get anything done that I needed to. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts, I guess. Shivery Chill. They only have Dunsparce out here. They didn't play down to use Mew's Restart. They're really struggling, apparently, which is just great for us, right? We've got Fighting Energy here. We can Penny up the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and that would... Then I would put the Cornerstone Mask into the active, I think. Yeah, let's do that. I just want... You know, because of Cornerstone's Mask ability, it'll prevent attacks done to it by Pokemon with abilities, and we'll just enter in there. So Chimp PAL has an ability, so we will just not take damage from that. So that's good. Froakie! Okay, so yeah, Chimp PAL players have been putting a Greninja into their deck to try to get around Cornerstone, I believe. So that's interesting, but yeah. Attach again to Chimp PAL, that's interesting too. I would have expected, you know, you put something else, like put it out on something else like the Froakie or something, you know? But yeah, interesting stuff, interesting stuff. We'll put our third and final energy there, and I'm gonna take away their hand. I don't know what's in their hand, but they've been building it for a little while now. Ooh, okay, we got Fez here. We can do that. And we got Lycanroc, but we only got one Spiky Energy in the discard, so I don't want to pull the trigger too soon, right? But we also don't have Spiky Energy in our hand, or a way to discard it, so I'm not 100% sure. There's the Dunsparce. Runaway and Draw is definitely seeing a lot more play nowadays, which is interesting in my opinion. I do like seeing it. I think it's a great card. Just wish it was uncommon so it could be played in Popper. That's my biggest issue with it. Lotad. Oh, I didn't think I would get to see Ludicolo in a long time. But it looks like people are already trying it with Chimp PAL. Not a bad, idea. Let's see. Greninja EX. What's its weakness? Grass or Psychic? Either way, it doesn't matter. I have nothing to hit for weakness. Okay. 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 Shivery Chill. They'll get more water energy. Top deck Boss's Orders, maybe? That would be pretty sick. Not gonna lie, I would be able to knock out this Frogadier that they got starting up. And yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. I don't think it's gonna go that way, but it would be nice. Okay, they retreat to another Chimp PAL. Oh, they're going to Shivery Chill again. So they're just loading their hand with the water energy, it seems. Okay. Ting-Lu. I could play Jamming Tower, but that's not going to affect either of us. I think I can just play, attack with Demolish, right? Sadly, I haven't gotten to use the Spike Dog, Like, the whole purpose of the deck is Lycanroc, and it's just a bench warmer right now. Rare Candy into Ludicolo, very nice. 40 more HP for people. Doesn't really change the knockout on Chien-Pao. It's still a 2-hit knockout for me. But, you know, maybe they play Bravery Charm, and then that health goes even further. I would, of course, play Jamming Tower and disable it, but, you know. Where are they gusting up? Squawkabilly's pretty easy to knock out. Rockruff, okay. I mean, if they really want to, I guess. Are they not going to knock it out? Did they already attach energy this turn? I forget. There's the energy. Alright, now they're going to knock it out, right? Honestly, if I was them, I probably wouldn't. I would have gusted Ting-Lu up and then just, like, kind of wait, right? That's what I would have done. Because, like, I don't know. Then, like, your opponent's not going to retreat, obviously. Oh, and I got boss's orders. Demolish. Yes, please. Thank you very much. There goes 2 prizes. I got boss's orders. I can get my next 2 prizes pretty easily. We get Night Stretcher, so we can get Rockruff back. That's pretty nice. Everything is looking pretty darn nice right now. So this is crazy. So if we Night Stretcher, we got Artazon as well. We do need some energy. That is one area that I am low on. So maybe I Super Rod, Lycanroc, Rockruff, and an energy back into the deck. No, wait, those 2 energies are... Yeah, okay, so... I was thinking I would Night Stretcher another energy, but no, the other one is... the other one is... What word am I trying to say here? Oh, they pennied up the damage Chien-Pao. Okay. So I'm going to damage the Mew, and it won't be negative 30. Oh, they're choosing a new active. Frigibax. Okay. I can knock out Frigibax pretty easily. Hey, Rockruff, how you doing? Long time no see. I'm going to... Night Stretcher for a fighting energy. I'm going to attach that to the Rockruff. And then I'm just going to attack. Demolish. So Frigibax is knocked out. Cool. Cool. So they can't just accelerate a bunch of energy onto Chien-Pao and win, right? That's fine by me. Alright, Ultra Ball for what? Greninja? Baxcalibur, I just knocked out your Frigibax. Why didn't you grab Greninja? Did they only now realize what they did? Maybe? You know, sometimes I look away from my phone and then it's my turn. I go with my previous plan and then it turns out that my opponent did something to disrupt it. That's the danger of playing on mobile, is that sometimes, yeah, that happens. You forget to look at your phone for a while. Yep, there they go. They get Frigibax back. Okay. Frigibax is back. Back at it again. Do I boss knock it out? I feel like I boss knock it out, right? Right? Like, how is that not the play? If I boss up Frigibax, knock it out again, and just prevent my opponent from accelerating a bunch of energy. So yeah, let's play down Lycanroc. I'll get 1 spiky energy on it, I guess. Yes, let's use it. Just the 1 card, sadly. But we've got it. We'll boss his orders up the Frigibax. And then we will go ahead and demolish. So they need 2 more energy onto their Chien-Pao in order to one-hit knock out me. Yeah, or they can just 2-hit knock out me. Like, you know, if they attach an energy to another Chien-Pao, or to anywhere, and they discard 2 energy, right? They'll do 120, and then the next turn it's just 1 attachment from Chien-Pao, and they'll do 120 again, right? Like, yeah. It looks like that might be what they're going for. They might wait, honestly, because why risk it? You can leave Mew out there. Like, that's the part I'm not getting right now. You can leave Mew out there. It's my turn. My turn? Oh. Well, would you look at that? Brilliant Blender. One, 2. Okay. Okay. So that's going on. I'm just gonna do that. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens from here on out. But I am gonna do this. And then I think... Ooh, what do I want to do? Do I want Artazon for a Rockruff? I'm going to. Not 100% sure if I want to, but I'm going to. Give me that Rockruff. And then... Did I play supporter? No, I didn't. Cool. Pokegear. Okay, Iono or Morty's. Morty's is better. Morty's is definitely better. We'll get rid of TM Devolution because I'm not going to be doing any Devoing, you know? But yeah. Then we will demolish. Okay, now sadly we haven't gotten any damage done to the Chien-Pao yet, but I think next turn with Rockruff we will get some damage on there, right? They get Excalibur out, they've got Energy Acceleration and Energy Search, so that's what their plan is probably going to include. Oh wait, they can't knock out my Ogerpon. Duh. Sorry. They've got an ability. Do they have an attacker that doesn't? Right, Greninja. Where's the Greninja? I've been waiting for this Greninja. Wait, what did you just play? Max Rod. You played Max Rod before restarting? That's weird. Did you also forget that you can't knock out my Ogerpon, or are you... Oh, okay, so if you use Demolish, like, it'll go through the effect on me, but then I'll just knock you out. Right? Yeah. Okay, so I won this. Well, Richard, we didn't really get to use Lycanroc. This was just Ogerpon that did everything. I am going to take the final knockout with Lycanroc. I think that is appropriate. But, yeah, that's rough. That's real rough there. Lycanroc. Let's go ahead and evolve up. Yes. 1, 2, done. Attach a fighting energy. Retreat. Bring up Lycanroc. Do 570 damage. And there we go. Alright, Richard. I like what you're cooking here. I like the idea of it. I feel like you could mess with some numbers in it and make it slightly more consistent, but I do like it. And I know that all I did was play Cornerstone Ogerpon, but I still think it's a great deck that could, you know, see some good and fun play at some locals. So hopefully you all agree too. Go ahead, let Richard know in the comments how good his deck is, what you would change, what you wouldn't change, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Do the YouTube things, and just know that I do appreciate each and every one of you. It really keeps me motivated to keep making content when I see you guys like, subscribe, just watch or comment or all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, until next time, keep playing Jank. Oh.